Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome, guys. I hope you guys are having a fantastic time. This is Saturday. My name is Liaqat Zaman, and as you guys know, at this time we have our live stream. So, if you have any sort of questions, inshallah, that I can try to help you with, hopefully, inshallah, you can post them there. The lights in the background, a bit too flashy. Let's just put that there for now. Right, so actually, let me turn this a bit down as well. So welcome. I just had a talk today, came back, alhamdulillah. That's why you can see all this dandruff here. My beard needs some nice shampoo in there. So yes, my name is Liaqat Zaman. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today is Saturday. It was a bit cold today, but alhamdulillah, I've actually eaten so much food after the talk. MashaAllah, it was a Gujarati dawat. So Gujaratis, mashallah, make top food. So much food. They make so much food, mashallah. All different types of things. So it's fantastic. Welcome. Ahla wa sahlan. Umar. Assalamu alaikum assalam. MashaAllah, Umar, jazakumullah khair for your kind donation towards the channel. May Allah bless you in this dunya and the akhirah for supporting my channel. Fresh Prince of Pakistan status. Ahlan wa sahlan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. يا معلم لعلك بخير كيف قضيت يومك اليوم كنت يعني سلمت سيارتي إلى الميكانيك يعني مهندس السيارات وأيضا يعني ركبت دراجتي وكذلك كان عندي محاضرة فرجعت من المحاضرة والآن أنا يعني أمامكم. Ridwan Arifin, what is the definition of sihr? Sihr, they say, is ما دق سببه ما خفي سببه. So that's what it means. ما خفي سببه. Yeah, so right. So anyone who wants to ask questions on Curious Cat, if you don't want to ask questions in the comments, then you can inshallah ask on Curious Cat as well, which is basically a platform for asking anonymously. Let's put the link in the comments below. Wa alaikum assalam, mashallah, mashallah. Ahlan wa sahlan, ya Sharif Sahib, kya hal hai mere bhai? Ya akhi min New Jersey. What's happening, bro? كيف حالكم اليوم صديقي؟ أنا بخير يا حبيبي. To ask none. Saqib, oh yeah, Instagram people are probably going to be thinking, yaar, ye kya baat hai yaar? Kya baat hai? You guys can't see the dandruff from my throat, but there's loads of dandruff here, man. Loads of dandruff galore. Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome. Saqib Masood Sahib, kya hal hai? Mere bhai from Stoke-on-Trent. I'm just going to Insta, guys. Okay, so okay. MashaAllah, Asif Sar, ahlan wa sahlan, jazakallah khair for your kind donation. May Allah bless you. May Allah bless you and give you the highest ranks in this dunya and the akhirah. Thank you very much for your kind donation. It means a lot to me, guys. Once again, let me just put this in. It means a lot to me, guys, when you guys like supporting my channel, the work. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, is something which motivates me more. That there's people out there who appreciate the work that I do. And obviously, you know, the main purpose is for the sake of Allah. But when you have people who are appreciating your work, it means a lot as well. Jazakumullah khair. HK, can missed prayers be made sitting down if you are tired? Yes, if you're tired, exhausted, then you can pray sitting down. Real drama, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. But according to that definition, why would it be impermissible, like magic tricks for entertainment also falls under that definition? No, that's, you just asked the linguistic definition. Yeah, that's the linguistic definition. The the Islamic definition, I can't remember what the Islamic definition is, but it's basically where some sort of shirk or some sort of haram means, I can't remember the exact definition of it. Haram means is being used to harm other people. Yeah, where magic is being used to harm other people. Saqib Masood, Ustad, do you take any supplements? Yes, I take loads of supplements. I take vitamin C, vitamin D. I take, what else do I take? I take ginger capsules. I take ashwagandha. I take, I don't know, I got loads. Turmeric tablets. I take loads of these things. Wa alaikum assalam. Ahla wa sahlan. Muhammad Mullah. Scalp problems. Yes, itchy scalp. See that? Can you see the greasy hair? Greasy hair, man. I need to wash my hair. I need to wash it proper. So tomorrow I got cycling, inshallah. After cycling, I'm gonna wash my hair proper. Nice with tea gel shampoo, inshallah. Saqib Masood, I was going to go sleep but gonna stay awake now. Now you should go to sleep by you'll have a nice sleep. Going to sleep early is very good. Nice sleep, chill out, and you wake up nicely for Fajr in the morning. وأرنوت وعليكم السلام my brother أهلا وسهلا كيف حالك كيف حالك يا أرنوت NS وعليكم السلام. Do you have a favorite Muslim charity? My favorite Muslim charities are Sufa Relief. What type of charitable initiatives do you recommend? Anything basically. I mean, everything under the sun, as long as it falls under charity and it's done to help people who are in need, then it's fine. Yeah, I mean things like I would personally say things like charities that are going to help really people who are in real poverty. Helping them is probably the best. Muhammad Mullah, I've heard good things about ashwagandha. Yeah, ashwagandha is supposed to be very good. Yeah, and there's a new thing that I've actually got, but it's a bit difficult to take. It's called Arjun, Arjun, Arjun bark. It's a bark of a tree from India, and it's like so hard to drink. You gotta mix this powder. You mix it with. Are Tuwa and Al-Wad a type of Maf'ul Mutlaq in the ayat? Wad with the root not the same. Inni ana rabbuka fakhla'ak innaka bilwadi al-muqaddas Tuwa. Yeah. So Wad al-Muqaddas is the, you can say, is the Mubdal, and then the Tuwa would be the Badal of it. Yeah. So Muqaddas and then Tuwa is going to be the of it. Thoughts on mortgages and student loans? Not allowed. I have heard mixed things about it. Yeah, it's not allowed. Technically, it's not allowed. But out of necessity, if you need to get it, then there's some many of the scholars have given jawaz only out of necessity. Qasim Hussein, alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're well. What's your daily and weekly routine? My daily routine is wake up in the morning, have my breakfast, and basically just like if it depends on what day it is, whether I'm on that day working or not. So if it's working, then I go work, then I come back, then I might do some home like DIY things I need to at home, and then do my reading, then we go work again. So it all depends on. And the weekends, I usually leave my weekends free for any sort of like important things I have to do, visit people, talks, my sports that I do. Yeah. Muhammad Mullah, I don't know about you, sir, but when I wash my hair goes very thin and has loads of volume. Untamable. Right. Wow. Like a lion, untamable. M. Mullah's hair. Sounds dangerous, bro. Sounds like some wild hair. Wa alaikum assalam, Fahim on Instagram. Ahla wa sahlan. Have you read the last volume, Basti Jawar? No, I haven't. It contains alleged magic, for example, Tales of Dogs. No, I haven't read it. I've heard that those chapters were not written by Ashraf Ali Thanwi rahimahullah. I don't know. You'd have to maybe ask someone who probably know about that. On charity, is it better to do something small for many, like food to the poor, or something big like a house for one family? I mean, it's difficult. I mean, the main thing is we're not supposed to go and search for what is the best charity. we're supposed to just go and just give charity. That's what we're supposed to do. Yeah, so the people who are in need, we help them, and Allah will multiply our rewards accordingly. What is your Iman care routine? My Iman care routine, like that one, yeah? The Iman, you know, people ask, what's your skincare routine? So, Iman care routine. My Iman care routine is pray my 5 times salats, read Quran every day, meet you guys as well. What's your what's your Iman care routine? How would you start to get into reading? I need to get off these devices. So what you need to do is, let me tell you a book to read, Atomic Habits. If you read Atomic Habits, it's a very good book. If you can't read it, then listen to it on YouTube. And if you can't listen to it, there's a summarization of it on YouTube. Listen to that. It gives you really good tips of how to create habits, especially with things like reading as well. Yeah. So one of the things with the technology is you have to kind of overcome that separation of technology, sabbatical, where you force yourself to not use a device for a whole day or 2 days or 3 days, and then you kind of get yourself weaned off it. But yeah, definitely, the device is a very difficult thing. Addiction. It's a very hard addiction to get rid of, because it's kind of like, it's one of those kind of things where you feel as though you need to keep checking. They call it FOMO, like fear of missing out. Ahnaf says, so have you also learned under Hazrat Mufti Sahib Rahimullah? Mufti Sahib, which one? Are you talking about Mufti Rafi Usmani? You're talking about? No, I didn't study by him. I didn't study in Darul Karachi. I studied in Banuri Town, but I saw him quite a few times. What are some tips or cheat codes to easily understand Usul Fiqh, especially Usul Shashi, because the book isn't. Yeah, so what I would suggest is do my course. Do my 28 lessons of Usul Fiqh for beginners intermediate, and then do my Usul Shashi course. Yeah. I mean, this is not obviously to blow my own trumpet. This is just something which I've taught it many times, and I found like the way that I do, I find it to be the most like easiest way to be able to understand it. And there must be people out there who have taught it better than me, 100%. But I can only tell you what I've done. All right. Do you have a wird? Yes. So my wird, basically, usually after every salat, I read tasbihat, Ayatul Kursi, and then in the mornings I'll read the three quls 3 times each, and then blow on myself. And then daily Quran. I'll try to even listen to Quran as well, as much as Quran as I can listen to, and nawafil throughout the day. Those kind of things that I do. What's the hukum of breaking a voluntary fast with any excuse after Zawal time? Yeah, I mean it's it's considered to be makruh to break a fast without a reason. Yeah, without an excuse, makruh. But the person will not necessarily be considered to be sinful for it. And the person just has to make a qada. شريف will قال بصرت بما لم يبصروا به فقبضت قبضة من أثر الرسول فنبذتها وكذلك سولت لي نفسي. Some insight. So this is talking about a guy called Samiri, who was basically like this kind of storyteller in Bani Israel, and he managed to mislead them into thinking that the calf, to make the calf, so the calf because of him. And then what he would basically, when Musa alayhi salam asked him, why did you do all that? He said, because whenever that messenger used to come to you, and the Mufassirin say most likely this was Jibreel alayhi salam, and every time he would walk, like the ground underneath would start to go green. So I used to take some of those, like the sand under which he stepped, and then I would throw it on the calf and it'd make a noise. This is some Mufassirin mentioned this. Yeah, under this verse. I went to an event today with Speaker Maulana Sulaiman Mullah, mashallah. He's a very nice talker, speaker, mashallah. He's amazing, mashallah. Very good memorization, and he just like shocks you how much he memorizes. Okay, so Ahnaf, I learned in school, but I'm very weak now. Need some tips on my Arabic. What I would suggest, my brother, is to do my Quranic Arabic 17 lessons. It's £50 course. If you go on my, if you send an email to Learning Deen, and the Deen has 2 3s at gmail.com, or if you check out my website uruk.com, uruk.com, yeah, there you'll find the course there. Right. Best tip on improving tarjama of ibarat reading. The best tip I would say is 2 things. Number 1, make sure you know what every single word means. Right. Number 2 is try in your mind to try and like compose the overall meaning. So let's say there's 5 words there. Each word, find out what each word means. And then in your mind, try to figure out. Once you've done that, then you show it to someone else who knows Arabic, and then they'll explain whether you made a mistake or not. Do this for several months, and inshallah, your ibarat reading will become very good. Muhammad Mullah, ahlan wa sahlan. Nasheed artist, reciter Maulana Kamaluddin. Maulana Kamaluddin's got a nice voice. Subhan, is that his one? Yeah. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah. Yeah, I remember I went to one event once and he sang that, and everyone started singing with him. The book name you've been hearing in recent times, Shamsul Ma'arif, is an alleged magic book containing jinn summoning and stuff. Okay. What is your work depends on what if your work depends on technology? I did an Islamic quiz course. Is it okay? Yes. Totally fine. Iyan Hussein wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ustad, is Abdullah ibn Mubarak rahimahullah considered as a scholar from the Ahnaf? Not necessarily, not in the sense of what we understand Hanafi to mean in the later years. Yeah, so basically he agreed with Abu Hanifa on many opinions. So in the early years, that was what was known as a Hanafi. If you agree with Abu Hanifa on many opinions, you're called a Hanafi, even though you didn't adhere to everything he said. NS, when you give, so what is your speaker note system? Do you take an iPad? It all depends, actually. So it depends what kind of talk I'm giving. If I'm giving like a more of a motivational talk, I probably will, because I've done quite a lot. So a lot of the kind of notes beforehand, I look at them, and then I'll know exactly how to structure my talk. But normally, if I have like a new kind of talk I'm going to talk about, then I'll make like notes. The notes will be very detailed. They'll just be like triggers for me to know what to say. So I might have like, let's say I'm talking about Sirah, and then I'll have like maybe like a circle I'll draw, and then like clockwise I'll go and I'll start putting things down. So then in my mind I can imagine a clock, and then I can know, okay, at this time I'm supposed to talk about this, and this time this time this. So it's all like structured, and then I'll branch off things from there. So a lot of the talk is sort of like based upon my own sort of way of elaborating, articulation, and the rest of it, the structure, is something I have noted down. वालेकुम अस्सलाम मसीर अली वालेकुम अस्सलाम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू अहला व सहलन क्या हाल है मेरे भाई Billy Goat walaikum assalam. NS the Usul course, where is that available? That's on my uruk.com. So uruk.com, if you look at the bottom there, you can see it just gone there, or you can just email on the email below. The Usul, what is a Deobandi, and why do people look down upon this group and accuse certain? So Deobandi is not a group. So basically what happened in India was, when the British colony came to India, what happened was a lot of the Islamic institutes that were there in ulama were either dismantled by the British colonialists, or they were killed. So there were a few ulama that got together. Amongst them was a guy called Maulana Rashid Ahmad Gangohi and Maulana Qasim Nanotwi. And they got together and they decided, right, we need to like preserve the sciences in a systematic way. So they started two institutes, Jamia Milliya and in Deoband, a madrasa in Deoband. It was just Deoband is the name of a city or a town, and then from there, that's it. It just flourished, and then anyone who studied there, who studied in the city of Deoband, it could have been called something else. Like it could have been called Birmingham. It would have been called Birminghamese, and that's it. Then it just flourished there. So so that's how it flourished. Then there was actually certain groups that didn't like the approach that these two scholars were taking, because they were speaking against the British government, and they were also speaking against a lot of innovations that were happening in. So there were some groups out there who didn't like this approach, because they were saying, we've been doing this for so many years, no one said anything, and all of a sudden you're speaking against this, and then that's how you had this sort of like conflict. Is there an hadith that says if you're doing a sunnah fast and go to someone's house and they offer you food, it's better to break the fast? Yes, there is to that effect. Yeah, to that effect. If someone fasts and accidentally puts a bit of food on the tongue while cooking, does that break fast? As long as they don't swallow it, it doesn't fast. It doesn't break unless they don't swallow it. Yeah, that's him. Gave me so much nostalgia from my childhood. I was gonna start crying. Yeah. Sorry if you responded to this in the lives. Best book after Kuduri. Best book after Kuduri, I would say, is something like Mukhtar or Ikhtiyar. Yeah, Ikhtiyar is probably a very good book. I mean, after Kuduri, you can even do Lubab. Lubab is also a good book to do after. It all depends. I mean, I did Ikhtiyar after Kuduri in Madrasa. Billy Goat. If someone desires to go Makkah or Aqsa and has been to neither before, is there an Islamic opinion which someone should go to first, inshallah? No, there isn't sort of like specific Islamic, but the more reward obviously in Masjid al-Haram in Mecca, and then in Medina, and then Aqsa. Where are you located? I am located in the UK, in Birmingham. Ahmed Raza Khan's works in Hanafi. So Mulana Ahmed Raza Khan, he has many works, and I haven't read all of them, but I've read quite a few. A lot of them are very good, I would say, from my own reading. I would say they're very good. Very. Some of the things I disagree with, things that he says. His style of writing is quite harsh as well. It's very sort of like argumentative. But I mean, he has a very good eye for fiqh, definitely. Aziz Beg, what do you think about study fiqh by one bab from every book? So Babu Tahara from Nur Hidayah, and then that's a very good one. I was actually thinking of maybe doing like a YouTube video like that, maybe go through one chapter, finish it, and then another book, go through that, and then another book, go through that. I was actually thinking of doing that, but the only thing that kind of holds me back is what happens is when you study a particular chapter, if you move on to a different book on that chapter, you actually, unless you don't know certain things in other chapters, you're going to be at a disadvantage in understanding fully the next book above. So that's the kind of thing. But you can do it if the teacher's very good, then the teacher can explain it to you like that. But yeah, Aziz, that's a very good idea. Is there any difference between Hafiz and Alim? Yes, Hafiz basically means someone who has memorized the Quran and doesn't necessarily know what the Quran is saying. Alim is someone who has understood the meaning of the Quran. If I'm praying a Sunnah prayer and I forget to recite a surah after the Fatiha, what must I do? Sajda Sahu. Salam, do you have any exam papers for Kuduri which I could be shared? Yes, if you email me. Yeah, if you email, I can send you a paper. Yeah, I can send you a paper and you can do it and then send it back to me, inshallah. If I get a chance, I can mark it, hopefully. So, yeah. And which babs? Tell me the babs. Masir Ali, wa alaikum assalam. Kya hal hai mere bhai? Have you read Sirat al-Mustafa? Is it by Imam Idris Khandelwi? That one. Masir Ali, best book after Kuduri. You should know the real answer to that. Kanz. If my mom pays for Hajj, would it be accepted? Yes. Yes, and mashallah, you get free Hajj, bro. Would Fiqh al-Hanafi Thawb al-Jadid be too advanced after Kuduri? Possibly. Yeah, possibly. I mean, because the idea of studying Kuduri and then the next book after that, the next book after that, is to develop inside yourself a malaka. You want to develop a way of thinking. You want to know how Kuduri thinks. And then you want to shift on to the next scholar and know how he thinks, and then move on to the next scholar and how he thinks. So this development of thinking process is crucial. So you can have all of Hanafi fiqh explained to you in like easy like terms, easy peasy terms. But that's you won't gain the thinking test in it. You'll understand the outcome. It's like, imagine baking a cake. You'll have the cake in front of you, but you won't know the process in achieving that. Do you like whiteboards or blackboards better? I haven't tried a blackboard. I'm just used to whiteboards, but I don't know. Maybe I might have to test them both out to see which one is the best one. Yeah. Okay. I think I might go off Instagram in a bit. Just see what happens. Right. Regarding the fasting, what happens if you accidentally swallow food? I thought there was a hadith that said the accidental. No, there's a hadith that says forgetfully. Forgetful is different from accidental. So forgetful is where you forget you were fasting and you ate. Then your fast doesn't break according to majority of scholars. Accidental, according to Hanafis, is where you know you're fasting, but like accidentally something went down your throat. So let's say you're gargling water in wudu, and accidentally water went down your throat. So fast breaks according to Hanafis. But the hadith is about forgetfulness. Wa alaikum assalam. مثل قميصك. Is it bespoke? No. So this is basic. This actually I bought it from the shops, but my mum, she fixed it for me. So it's quite wide. So she kind of cut it so it kind of like nice fits now, like nice under the armpits and all that. So when you kind of go into sajda, when you got like a jubba and you go into sajda and you get stuck. You need to have a nice, smooth like experience in sajda. Have you experienced that before? Where you go into sajda and you try to kind of and your jubba too tight to kind of go. Yeah, so I don't like that. I like nice, loose jubba. So it's kind of nice fitting, and but at the same time the arms are very sort of like nice. Right. Next, do you have any other job apart from teaching at so far? No, I don't have any other job. Just teaching at so far. Don't have any time to have another job. MP wa alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan. How are you? Long time no speak. True. Mubarak. Bye. Mubarak. So I went today, guys, just to kind of mention again, I went to a talk today. I gave a talk today, and it was about social media. And I haven't given like I used to give talks in the past a lot. Yeah, I remember it was like nearly maybe every month, once or twice a month, I would give a talk somewhere in a masjid. I was invited to give a talk. But then I got tired of giving talks. And I used to think to myself, you know what, is there any benefit in me giving talks? But now I realize there is benefit because sometimes someone comes up to you and says, Sheikh, that talk you mentioned, it really helped me in getting over some problems in my life and this and that. And I think I don't even realize I say something in the talk and it might just click with someone and help them transform themselves, get out of the problem that they're in. So this is why I've started doing some more talks now. But yeah, I don't like doing talks everywhere because sometimes this is the kind of bad thing that I find in a lot of these masajids. Unfortunately, what tends to happen is the people, the masajid, they simply just want they just want someone to just like content. Basically, they just want content. They just want someone to give a talk. That's all. They're not really interested in like structuring it and having a system and then inviting the people and all of that kind of stuff. They just want, let's just call Mulana to give a talk. And then Mulana will come and there's like 3 or 4 people sitting there. And Mulana's that travel like half an hour's drive. So I know obviously someone might shouldn't do for Allah's sake, but yes, obviously, and then you probably think maybe I should have done something which is more productive for Allah's sake than this. So this is why I would say if anyone does want to invite a scholar, to make sure that everything is prepared. Make sure that the scholar just has to come, deliver the talk, and you make the effort so that the people benefit from it. For someone who is doing hifz and is practicing it in the nafil salah, is he allowed to quickly peek at his phone when he gets stuck? I would say, if it's for hifz, I would say it's possible. In nafil salat, I would say that, yeah. What should I keep in mind when studying Nasamatul Ashar? Nasamatul Ashar. Let me just have a check of Nasamatul Ashar. Nasamatul Ashar. This is Manar's work, isn't it? This is Manar's work. Okay, no, I haven't gone through Nasamatul Ashar. Yeah, I've kind of just checked on a few sections of it, but I haven't gone through it systematically. So I wouldn't really be able to kind of give you a good understanding of it. Yeah. So I mean, currently I'm teaching Manar, and I'm actually using Usul al-Salakhsi. I'm using for it. I'm using also Mulla Ali Qari's, and I'm not Mulla Qari's. I'm using Mullah Jiwan's, Noor Anwar, and also what else? Yeah, I think probably those two I'm only using. Isn't Nasamat al-Ashar very short? Yeah, it's short. Yeah, I mean, it's not too short, but it's just like a brief explanation. I understand, Ustad. I meant forget testing food and suddenly realizing I was fasting. Yeah, you're welcome. I really like the color of the Jubba. Jazakallah khair. It's probably going to get nazar now. Masir Ali from America has given it nazar. My belly's kind of starting to go a bit puffy again. Yeah, so pouch. So I need to start my running again, guys. Make dua for me. So alaikum assalam, Najm Saqib. Always a great pleasure to see you and to see you, my brother, as well. Have you read Tilawat al-Quran by Imam Maturidi? Ta'wilat. I've read sections of it, yeah. I've read sections of it. I haven't read the whole thing. It's very long. I've read sections of it. It's very good. I mean, that Ruh al-Ma'ani, Al-Qawnawi's commentary on Baydawi's, these are very similar. It's very sort of like, abstract, if that's the best word. Assalamu alaikum. Is there a dua for overthinking too much? I don't know if there's a dua for it, but I think probably the best thing is there is like a dua. وَأُفَوِّضُ أَمْرِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. It means I hand over my affairs to Allah. Inna Allah basirun bil ibad. Allah is all seeing of His. There's just sometimes you tawakkul and trust in Allah. So you think and then you trust in Allah. But I don't really know if there's any specific dua for overthinking. If I'm a latecomer to the and some people just naturally overthinkers. That's all it is. It's just naturally overthinkers. They just think a lot, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with overthinking, but it's just when that overthinking causes you problems in life, that's when it's problematic. If I'm a latecomer to the congregational salah and Imam does sajda sahu at the end, this actually reminds me of Rona Hakim. Where's Rona Hakim? Rona Hakim's disappeared. If I'm a latecomer to congregational salah and Imam does sajda sahu at the end, do I also give? Yes. Yeah, you also do sajda sahu. Does your beard get brittle in winter? I don't know. It does kind of get dry when it's dry weather, when it's not humid. It does kind of get quite dry and yeah, but I don't know about brittle. A long time ago, I asked you the difference between the Harri, Qibla, and clothes, one being allowed to change, another by email. I forgot. Ask you later. Oh yeah, you did ask me, didn't you? Didn't I respond? In your opinion, what is the best online Arabic improve their spoken Arabic? No, I haven't really kind of tested them to be able to tell you that. Unfortunately, I don't know. When a woman is no longer in her period in Ramadan and she takes a ghusl, is it correct that she fasts for the remainder of the day, but it will still not need to be? Yes, that's right. It's called imsak. So she abstains from eating and all of that. Kazmataz wa alaikum assalam Muhammadullah. You give very engaging talks and stuff. A lot of students nowadays love speakers who make the talk enjoyable, and you always hit the nail on the head. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair, Emullah. You know me, bro. Me and you, yar's dost, yar. To be honest, my opinion on talks, I could be wrong, is that a benefit in most people's talks are little. Like if I am listening to a talk on tawakkul, I don't want to just listen to stories. Yeah, see, because you're a student of knowledge, Jenny. So your kind of level of sort of satisfaction in a talk is different. So you're looking for something different than a person possibly who hasn't been studying. So it's also true, makes you feel like you're being kidnapped in salah, all the khushu goes out the window. AMQ, alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Masir Ali, I want to know how to apply that in my life and what principles apply to me. I want to know how to apply ilm. My ilm stories are cool, but show me. Yeah, exactly. That's it. So you're like studying knowledge, so you kind of are looking for something else. And it happens to me as well. When I was studying, I wasn't really interested in the fiery talks anymore. I was more interested in sort of like rational sort of like explanations of things. Okay, Hamza Khan also has a legend book named Again, a lot of books may be attributed to someone, but then authenticity of that book might not be true. What about Ifadat al-Anwar? Ifadat al-Anwar is good, yeah. Yeah, Ifadat al-Anwar is good. I can give you, mashallah, Nazar. Please, can you give us a tutorial on how to make masa on socks, i.e. leather soles and thick socks you mentioned about previously? Yes, so if you go to my Kuduri, I've actually done this over there. So socks, let me just find it for you. I've actually done a whole video on wiping over leather socks. Yeah, so wiping over leather socks. Is lab-grown chicken halal? I don't know. I haven't done enough research into it. It depends what it's made from. Excited for the World Cup start? Not really, but now you're mentioning it, I might, just watch some matches. Imran, wa alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan, Imran. Ahlan wa sahlan. Can you do sajda sahu after salams or end of salat if you forgot to do it, and how you do it? Thanks. Yeah, so I've actually got a video. Let me just find it. Sajda. Let's just find it. Sajda sahu. Actually, where is it? Prostration. Yes, prostration. Yeah, so it's two videos I've got. Prostration of forgetfulness. Sajda sahu. Ya Allah. Was that oh yeah, curious cat questions. Let's check out the curious cat questions then, guys. All right, let's check some of these out. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. I recently saw someone share a hadith which said that the Prophet ﷺ advised the person during the khutbah to pray his tahiyyat al-masjid. What is the reason Ahnaf do not? So the reason is because he said when the Imam stands on the pulpit, there is no salat and no kalam, no speaking. So you have contradiction of conflicting hadith. Now, how do you deal with conflicting hadith? So we take the words of the Prophet ﷺ that he told us overrides the other action. So we say maybe that incident was to do with a special case, and because that guy, in fact, there's one version of that hadith is the guy was a poor guy, and the Prophet ﷺ wanted to show everyone who this guy was, so that later on he was allowed to ask people for donations. But the strong version of hadith is that إذا خرج الإمام فلا صلاة ولا كلام. Yeah, so there's no salat and there's no kalam. That's basically what we say. Okay, next. Yes, I am a born Muslim. Okay, so in that case, the question basically was the guy was saying, I didn't know you had to pray salats in the past, and do I have to make them up? In that case, you will need to make them up bit by bit. Okay, I have a very important question. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. I hope you're well. I wanted to ask you a question about remarriage. If a woman has a son from a previous marriage and the prospective person has a daughter, who would his marriage be acceptable, and would the children from the previous marriages, yeah, there would be, wassalam, the marriage would be valid, but the son and daughter would be non-mahrams. Basically, let's say there's a woman and she's married from before and she's got kids. And there's a man who's married from before, he's got kids. And when these two men or women get married, their kids are going to be non-mahrams for each other. They basically can marry each other. They won't be considered to be, like that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, how about players don't put any money forward at the start of and the end? Everyone else collectively buys the winner a prize. Okay, so the question is this: there's a group of people, and they put money together, and then they try to guess who's going to win the World Cup. So if someone wins, if someone got it right, then everyone, that money goes towards buying them a football shirt. That's gambling, days. That's not allowed. So so the way around it would be that the shirt is not from the collected money, and that money can go to charity or something else. Okay, that's it. All the questions of Curious Cat are done. Right. Right. Adil K. Wa alaikum assalam. Do you watch Andrew Tate as our Imam watches him and likes? No, I don't watch him. Is it true that wearing Ayatul Kursi Taweez around your neck for personal protection is associated with partners with Allah? No. Assalamu alaikum. Yes, my dear Sheikh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome, my brother Muhammad Hussein. Kya hal hai? Oi, I never seen you in this color before. Rami color, huh? Billy Goat, I often experience waswasa in salah, number of rakats, and intend to do sajda sahwa at the end, but sometimes I give my salam and later forget I was supposed to do sajda sahwa. What must I do? If it ever happens that you've forgotten to do sajda sahwa, then it's best to repeat the salat again. Yeah. And if you didn't, then the salat would have been done, but you should have repeated it. Okay. Okay. All right. So on Instagram, see you guys. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so Q&A Saturday. Let me just type this in. Okay, that's done. Is it excuse not to go for Hajj if the couple have children who have to take care of and have no one to look after them? Yes, that's an excuse. Mu'eed alaykum assalam. Can we hold the Quran while praying? For example, when you want to do a long tahajjud prayer, you can't read from it now. No, you can't read from it. If someone finishes, I've actually done a video on this. Yeah, again. What is it called? Holding? Or can you hold a mushaf? So actually in a video, and I'll send you that. So can you hold a mushaf in prayer? Next, I don't know if someone finishes praying X namaz after entering the time of it and afterwards reads the adhan in the mosque for people. Does this consist of any makruh? No, it won't. It won't. As long as he's prayed a lot. Billy go. Is it known what language Bani Israel or Musa spoke? According to majority of the scholars, it was Hebrew. Yeah, Ibraniya. Could you explain what cashback is and if it is permissible? No, because cashback could be different from situation to situation. If you can give me a specific scenario, then I can answer it for you. But cashback is like a broad term for various types of deals. Okay. I tried learning Arabic multiple times. Each time I completed the course, like Madina books and Arabic tutor. Then I studied half of Qasas and Nabeen too, but I still bad. What to do? My sarf and nahu. Just keep on going. Just keep on going. Keep on going. Keep on going. And it depends. I don't know. Maybe find a teacher that you can read with and that can help you. So one to one. That might be the best thing. Because I mean, everyone's different in how they learn. Not everyone can learn in the same way. So maybe you need a slightly different approach in practicing. Try to read kids' books as well. Children's books, best thing. Asifa wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh are different extracts extracted through ethyl alcohol, solvent alcohol, pure for external use, and salah is almost unavoidable. Yes, I've spoken to some experts about this, and they've said because it's basically used as like a chemical, a medium to extract like vanilla. It's used in vanilla and other things, but it doesn't remain. So in vanilla essence, it doesn't really remain. So therefore, it would be permissible in that case. I have a married older sister and unmarried younger sister. Is my brother-in-law my older sister's husband? My younger sister's mahram? No, not. In our small Hanafi masjid in the countryside, the imam in winter leads the Asr Jama'ah on Fridays at Mithil Oval so that there is a large Asr congregation. Be after Jum'ah opposed to a handful. What is your thoughts? Yeah, so NS, do you agree? Yes, it's fine. Because Sahibain's view was on that, and in fact, in Turkey and many other, Muslim countries where there's Hanafis, they pray in Mithl. What is your thought on HFA? I don't know much about HFA. I've spoken to some people. They've said to me that the level of stunning they do on the chickens is okay, so I don't mind eating from them. Wa alaikum assalam. Zob, ahlan wa sahlan, my brother. Ahlan wa sahlan, my Wolverhampton brother. And Assalamu alaikum assalam. Is Juma permissible in a college for a few students or work, even if how many are there? How many are there? Zed Melo, I read a Sufism material saying about the types of awliya such as Wali Abdal and the task of governing the universe. Is this acceptable? There's nothing authentic about this. Some people have said this, but it's just based upon some sort of narrations that are not very strong, or maybe even some experience. So there's nothing authentic about this. So you have to believe this. Muhammad Mullah, my manager asked if I wanted to be involved in a World Cup sweepstake. I said no because it's gambling, which is haram. He said some Muslims might be fine with it. I told him let know which Muslim so I can have a word. And Mullah, the Sharia police. Sharif. Do you see as what do you see as the greatest economic challenges for the Ummah? What are some of the ways we can overcome it? I honestly don't know, because obviously that's not my field. Best person to ask would be someone who's involved in the economy. But generally, on a small scale, I would generally say it is very important for Muslims to have financial stability, self-sustained. Like, what does self-sustained mean? That all their should be self-sustained. All their madrasas should be self-sustained. They should have a fund, like a endowment, waqf fund, that can support their own masjids, their madaris, Muslims who are trying to find jobs, people who are in positions of vulnerability. Yeah, I think they should have a fund for that, definitely. But again, it's a very tough question because it's not my field, and it's difficult to speak about something which I don't really know the full facts and figures. Every Muslim is technically the wali of Allah, right? If they obey Allah, they are the wali of Allah. Now, Ustad, I bought some books from which had a picture of a human face on the cover. Should I cover it up to prevent the angels? So as long as you don't have respect for it, as long as you don't hang it up somewhere, then it's fine. You don't have to cover it. Should someone repeat the prayer if he doesn't sit in the first sitting of a 4 rakat nafil of Asr? Should someone repeat the prayer if he doesn't sit in the first? He should do sajda sahu. He should do sajda sahu at the end, because this is considered to be wajib. And Islam Ustad, I heard about something called a misyar marriage. What is it and what do scholars say about it? So misyar marriage is basically a man and woman get married, and the woman drops all her rights. She says, "You don't have to give me a house. You don't have to give me expenditure. I'm okay." And the man also says, "You don't have to give me anything at all." That's basically what misyar is where a husband and wife marry and they drop their own rights. That's what it is. It's permissible. Yeah, if you want to do that, you can do that, but it's not the ideal way of living a marriage. What's the role of mindset in helping you become a better Muslim? I have heard things like if you view yourself as a mu'min, assuming you already are, or muttaqi, then you actually become like that. I don't know. I mean, I think the biggest mindset the Muslim should have is husnul dhan in Allah. So one of the things is dua. Dua is a very powerful tool for connecting yourself with Allah and have the right mindset. Because what do you do in dua? In dua, number one, you show dependency upon a higher power, Allah. Number two is you ask for something which you kind of like really been thinking about. So it involves actively like thinking about planning your future. Number three is you work towards it because you made this your goal. It's like writing it down and then every day looking at it. You're making it your goal. And then obviously Allah is the one that makes things manifest. So dua, don't underestimate it. Make dua, every single day. You should really think about what you need, I would say. Is it permissible to have little children, whether they are siblings, cousins, or friends, sleep in the same bed? They can if they're young, they're very minor. If they reach, like one hadith says, if they reach the age of 9, then you should separate them. Yeah, like you should separate, at least make like a gap between them, so they're not like next to each other, touching each other. Then you'll actually become. Who must we support for the World Cup? Qatar. You must support Qatar, guys. Qatar. Qatar is being attacked, so you gotta support Qatar. Oh, Qatar. Wa alaikum assalam, Jundullah. Ahla wa sahla. Long time, my brother. Long time. Hope you're well. Mir Saeed, wa alaikum assalam. What's the ruling on conventional mortgages in the West? Not allowed, not permissible, unless there is no other way for you to be able to finance a house. Is wiping over normal socks allowed? No. According to Hanafi, is not allowed. How do you deal with problems focusing on salah? Mind gets distracted intentionally. Are there any? Yeah, so there are some practical steps that you can try. Number one is before salah, do some Quran recitation. That really helps. Do some dhikr. That really helps. Make sure that there's no distractions. Pray some nafal. So a lot of the time, what happens is when you get into salat, it's like your mind is like fuzzy, and you get into salat, and that fuzz is still going around in your mind, and it takes time for it to settle, calm down. So you need to be calm before your salat. Breathing exercises, relaxing, calming yourself down, and then going into salat, and then thinking about what you're reciting in the salat. That helps a lot. If women gather in a place for learn Islamic knowledge in a Western country, can they pray congregation leading female? Yes. Can they also call azan? So basically, the problem with the female calling azan is we don't have it established from any sahabiyat that ever called the azan. So this would not be the sunnah practice. Although the azan would be done, but it wouldn't be considered to be the sunnah practice of azan. If the imam forgets to say takbir loudly when changing posture position, must he do sajda sahwi? No. So takbir is not from the wajibat of salat. Also, if praying behind the imam, listening over a speaker and cuts out when the imam is doing salam, so you don't hear it, when do you do your salam? So as long as you're sure that he's done his salam, then give salam. So wait a while, quite a long time, and then give salam. So you're definitely sure that he's given his salam. Do you know Jami'atul Ilmi wal Huda? Yes. Very good, mashallah. I have been there several times. I'm very, very kind of content and happy with the education there and students, mashallah. I mean, every madrasa has its advantages, disadvantages, without a doubt. I'm not saying that black men are perfect, but from what I've seen, mashallah, they do a lot of effort with the students. Why do people say that playing chess is haram? Because there's a narration for it. There's a narration for it. However, that narration is clarified by other scholars, like Imam Shafi says, if it's going to cause you to miss your salats and get too distracted from the important things in life, then it's not allowed. Should I get rid of pictures that are hung up in my house If it's pictures of human beings or images, then it's best not to have them. Are we allowed to print family pictures into a photo album that is not displayed? There's ikhtilaf on this. I would avoid, but I know some people who do permit that. Anyway, guys, I am gonna finish it there. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much for tuning in. May Allah bless all of you guys. Just to kind of remind you guys, I have some courses on my YouTube channel that you guys can watch for free. There's loads of courses on Mondays. I do videos on how to learn how to read the Quran. Tuesdays, I do usually some sort of a hadith. Wednesdays, we go through some Arabic poetry. For Thursdays, we have Quduri. We'll go through Hanafi Fiqh. Then Friday, we have live stream. Saturday, live stream. And then Saturday, Sunday, sometimes we have Quran videos and advanced Arabic literature. So check out those videos, guys. And also, I've got a website called uruk.com where I've got videos there. And a lot of them are paid ones, but they're very beneficial. And obviously that's because I made them. But if you want to learn Arabic, you want to learn how to read the Quran and understand in Arabic, then I've got a course for you guys. It's called Quranic Arabic 17 Lessons. Right, so check that out. Lots of people have done it, alhamdulillah, benefit from it. So you can check that out, inshallah. And that's it, guys. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Enjoy yourselves. Tomorrow I've got cycling. Make dua that you go safe. Have you seen the new Nahu exercise book, Al-Tamreen Al-Nahwi? No, I haven't. So who's written it? I was informed before a female cannot pray behind a female. Yes, I've actually made a video. Yeah, check my Kuduri, Billy Go. I've actually made a video on this. So yes, they are allowed to lead, but it's not the ideal way. Jazakumullah khair, Zob, ahlan wa sahlan, Masir Ali, ahlan wa sahlan. What does Imam Hanafi say about the permissibility of playing chess? He says not allowed. Masir Ali, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khair. Acha, Hamim, ahlan wa sahlan, wa alaikum assalam. In some markaz, they don't use the mic for Fard Salat as they say you are not following the voice of the Imam. Is there any precedence for this? There were, when mics first came out, there was like an ikhtilaf on this issue. In fact, Mufti Taqi Usmani's father has actually in Urdu written a whole treatise on this masala. And the summary is that eventually the scholars did agree that it is allowed. So there are some people who still say that it's not allowed, but again, the stronger evidence is to show that it is allowed. Because when you hear the mic, you are actually hearing the guy's voice. It is an electrical sound, like you're hearing me, aren't you? Because my sound is going through a mic, it's going through electricity, the electricity is coming to you guys, and it comes out your speakers, and then you're hearing a replication of that voice, but it's still my voice. So what if we have pictures on mobile and we don't want to keep hold of the memories by printing them out? Well, it's up to you. Really, it's up to you. I mean, some scholars allow it, other scholars don't. If someone is praying salah and there is someone on a bed in front of him, does he have to pray? No, it's fine. Barakallahu feekum, shukran jazeelan, ahlan wa sahlan. Make sure you watch the videos, guys, and have a wonderful week again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.